exciting. We can spread a little happiness, just a little bit of happiness. Welcome to Pause with Polly in our season of Lent. This week talking about joy, and today, Thursday, March 27th, joy in my heart. And what's the best way to talk about joy and joy being in the heart? The music, because music has this incredible power. It reaches into our hearts, it moves something deep within, and it reminds us that joy isn't just something we find out there, it is something we carry inside. So, spread a little happiness. Yeah, he sings better than I do, I know that. There are songs that the moment they start playing, they bring an instant sense of joy. Like this one we are listening to, or when we are listening to, oh, let me go deep in here. Oh, happy day. You'd better go and listen to that now because my voice here. Or when we're listening, lovely day, lovely day. And there are some songs in Brazil too, like Brazilian songs that talk about this joy. And when I listen to them, oh my, it fills me up. Each one carries like a message that joy isn't just a feeling, but something rooted in faith and in resilience and in connection. It is just so nice, just so nice. It reminds me of a song from Gilberto Gil in Brazil, and he says, "Anda com fé eu vou, que a fé não costuma falhar." It's like walking in faith. I will do this because faith doesn't let us down. So, hey, songs, music, it's in there. And I've felt that joy in so many unexpected places. Ah, so nice, so nice. Thinking about this text, it brought memories. Like from years ago when I was part of the Rotaract in Brazil, which is a youth club within Rotary International. And we started a project, and I was teaching English to kids living in a shelter with their moms. The shelter would give them safety, and it was like a fresh start for their lives. But for me, being with those kids, and for my friends who would play games with those kids, that wasn't just about the English part. It was something about opening doors, helping those kids see a future where they would have choices. That is just so amazing thinking of that. And then years later, not really thinking of the impact that we were causing to those kids, I ran into one of the girls from that project, and she was back then in high school when I was teaching the classes. She was just probably starting 5th grade, and then she was in high school when we ran into one another, and she told me those classes had given her the confidence to believe in herself, and that she had applied for an apprenticeship to take to the next step. So that moment, it made my heart sing. Yes. Nowadays I see the same kind of joy when I am volunteering as a facilitator with a bounding service, which is a nonprofit, and it creates the work we do. We create space for immigrants, refugees, language learners to connect with those who speak English, are fluent or are native speakers of English. And there is something so powerful about it, witnessing the people regain a sense of belonging, a sense of possibility. And these stories that are shared, oh my gosh, even in the hardest situations, joy finds a way to shine through. You know, it also reminds me of the incredible work that a friend of mine who I met in the beginning of this year, Father Das and his wife, they are in São Paulo, and they are missionaries, and they go into the streets of São Paulo, this huge city, and they create space for homeless youth. And some of these stories Father Das shares in his blog, it's so touching. There is a story of they've been doing this work for more than 10 years nowadays, and they have been following through some of these kids, like being there for them. And imagine like You're just 10 years old and you have nowhere to sleep. For so many of these kids, that's their reality. One of them is now 23 and is still homeless. That's the life he knows. Not because he has not had another opportunity, another chance, but chances come and go, and that's what is happening. It seems to be always there that the job doesn't stick because of one thing or another. But Father Daz and his wife, when they show up for the kids, for the youth, young adults, it's not just about bringing food for them. It's more than bringing shelter at that moment. They are a beacon of hope. They bring presence for those kids, for the youth that they work with in the streets. And they remind the kids, the youth, that what happens in there is that they are seen, they are heard, they are felt. And Father Des and Mary, they really bring a message that you might be here and you matter. Oh, that is so touching. Touching because, yes, I lived in São Paulo. I know what that city is. It has the beauties and it has the dark levels of it as well. And it's so interesting because the ministry that they are doing in there, it isn't just about a perfect life. It's about discovering something that goes deeper. It's a joy that is not connected to just the joy, but it isn't dependent on circumstances. But it's the joy that really comes from knowing that you are loved, you are valued, and you are never alone. Oh my, whew. Joy has a rhythm. And sometimes it is loud and bursting, like, whoa, it is a lovely day, yes. But sometimes it is just being quiet. It's a small flicker of hope. It's a gentle moment of peace. And even in our darkest moments, if we allow ourselves, we can still touch it. We can still feel it. So today I invite you to think about the songs that bring joy to your heart and how you connected to them. What melodies remind you of the resilience of the human spirit? What lyrics make you feel connected to something greater than yourself? And how can you bring a little more of that joy into the world through the way we show up, through the way we listen, through the way we hold the space for one another? Because joy isn't just in the songs we hear. It's in the stories we live, in the moments we share, and the love that connects us all. So share about your songs of joy. Listen about someone's songs of joy. Make it a happy day. Make it a joyful moment and a joyful journey. See you next.